sent to prison when you know I didn't do this?
Listen to new episodes of Wrongful Conviction with Maggie Freeling and Jason Flom on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.
It's time to give stuff away. Oh, it's time to give stuff away.
All right, you want to go see Static X and Seven Dust? It's always a ton of fun when those guys are in town. The co-headlining run brings them to the world-famous Agora on Thursday night. It's February 22nd. You can go to agoracleveland.com if you want details on the show. Caller 10, you get these. I will see you there. Static X and Seven Dust. 216-578-1007 to win, or 800-348-1007.
Authors say to write what you know, which is why he remains unpublished.
How can you know nothing about anything?
Alan Cox.
That hack knows absolutely nothing.
On 100.7 WMMS.
I got another $1,000, by the way, in about 10 minutes, maybe 8. A shot for you to grab some cash from the Buzzard bookie, so listen for that on the way. Comedian Sean Patton is here. He is one of your favorite comics, even if you don't realize it yet.
That's my favorite. Can I coin that?
Absolutely.
I'm going to put that in quotes, Alan Cox.
It's all yours.
Thank you. That's the best.
Favorite radio host, even if you don't know it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
He is,
there we are.
He is at Hilarities tonight and tomorrow. This is one of these kind of parachute in, parachute out deals. Sean and Bill Squire. 7 o'clock tonight and 7 o'clock tomorrow night. 2 shows.
Wait, Bill, are you on the show?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the show.
Oh, hell yeah.
And,
we do look like we're auditioning for the same part.
Yeah.
That's what I said earlier. How are we going to tell you guys apart tonight?
And then you're going to be in Columbus on Saturday, correct?
Then I'm going to be in Columbus on Saturday. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have plenty of Bureau Chiefs down there, right? We got people that listen in Columbus, so if you're down that way.
You know, how far? I got to drive that. What is that, 2 hours?
2 hours. Not bad.
Perfect. You know, last time I was in Cleveland, I was here in April opening for David Cross.
Okay.
At the Agora?
At the Agora, yeah.
Right? And that day, David's a huge baseball fan, and we land, and we get a call. He gets a call from his manager, like, hey, do you want to throw out the first pitch at the Guardians game?
Mm-hmm.
And he's a huge baseball guy, so he was like, absolutely. So we're like driving in. As we pull in to the stadium, it's like, rained out.
Oh,
right?
That sucks.
And we're like, but they're like, hey, we still got to go out on the field. And he did throw a pitch, but just not at home base. And he did, like it just down. But the guy gave us I hope this guy, I can't remember his name, such a sweet dude, but he's like, do you want a tour of the stadium? And we're like, absolutely. And at first it's like, here's where the players are. There's a locker room. Here's the VIP boxes. Here's the radio where you can see here's where the game's called. And then it starts getting more like, and here's where I like to have lunch. And then it's getting more
they kind of run out of the...
Yeah.
You got to stop in the tour with where you like to have lunch. That's not a...
And then at one point he's like, and this is my desk. And we're like, all right, man, we got to go. They're like, thank you. But
this is Agora, buddy.
You're taking a selfie with the desk.
Yeah.
Here's my trip to Cleveland.
But we were in there for a long time, and we got all kinds of Guardians gear that I forgot to bring with me.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm a dummy.
Well, I've told the story here a million times, but
Yeah.
I had only been in town a couple of years, and they asked me to throw out the first pitch. And you just, have you ever done that? Have you ever, like...
Thrown out a first pitch?
Yeah.
I have not, but I've thrown a baseball, because I know it's...
See, I have too, and so you go into it, but I was like, I don't want to screw this up at all.
Yeah.
And so I pretty much came to the conclusion that I had over-prepared.
Yeah.
Because I just, like, hit it in the dirt. Like, I don't think well, Bill, everybody breaks my balls. I don't think I fully embarrassed myself, but it was the same. The guy after me was like this. It was senior day with some other group, and this old dude behind me just sails it across.
Just throws it.
It was just a beautiful pitch.
But, it's also when suddenly 30,000 people are watching, or however many come, and you're like, oh, this... Okay.
There's a little bit of nerves in it.
There's got to be a little... Because also, like, man, imagine... I mean, think about the guy who has never even played. Like, some of those people have never even... It seems like they invite people sometimes who are just celebrities.
Yeah.
Yeah, or they're part of an organization that's there that day.
Right. They're like, oh, I got to throw this? And they've probably never thrown a thing ever in their life.
It's beginner's luck for a lot of people,
Or that's where they discover the next, what's that kid? What was that movie where the kid, Rookie of the Year?
Rookie of the Year.
Where
he trips on a baseball, and then all of a sudden he's a great pitcher.
Yeah, right? You know how sometimes you dislocate your arm, and all of a sudden,
Well,
yeah.
Also, the practice they probably if he didn't get the contract with the Cubs, they definitely could have sued him because I've never seen someone get surgery on their arm and then they put it in place like this, up at an angle. Like usually it's in a sling. Yeah.
Wait,
they had it straight up.
Oh yeah. Wait, are you guys baseball fans?
Yes.
So, what do you think about the new rules?
I like them.
Yeah, Bill?
I've been for integration the whole time.
Now try winning some games.
Oh. What rule are you talking about?
About the pitch clock and
stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it all helped. I think it was all okay.
Because I also went to my first ever baseball game last year of the team that shall not be named in the city that is also on a lake. That team is an infant predator. The Chicago Cubs.
Okay.
So that was my first.
I'm a White Sox fan. So
Okay, there you go.
Yeah.
First game ever, and I went, and it was done in 2 hours. I'm like, that was fantastic. And you talk to other hardcore baseball fans, like, it's nonsense.
Yeah.
I like being at a park for 4.5 hours drinking. I'm like, you're an alcoholic. You can just do that.
Right. Yeah.
You can still just
You
drink.
can still just go drink for 5 hours
I mean,
straight.
my thought was always there because when I hear people complain about baseball, my thought is like, well, you probably don't really like baseball then. Like, if you say you're a baseball fan, you kind of take everything that comes with it.
Sure.
I'm not complaining about getting out a little earlier
Sure.
of a game, right? But I do like baseball.
I also it's like, I don't like you hear. I've never, like I said, I'm new to baseball as a fan, but like hearing these stories about guys like stepping out and taking 15 minutes between swings. I'm like, oh, the new rules prevent me from having to watch an athlete think or be superstitious.
Right.
Now they have to play the whole game.
Right.
Oh, dang. I love it.
The original OCD is a baseball players that they're tapping the inside of their foot and tapping their head and But you don't have you're from New Orleans. You don't have a home baseball team, right?
The closest baseball team to New Orleans is the Houston Astros. And for some reason, Houston and New Orleans have this weird, playful rivalry. I think most southern cities have that rivalry.
Why didn't they ask you to play Richard Simmons?
Oh, buddy.
He's from New Orleans.
Is he? No,
Yeah.
I was on a flight with him once where he sang the
announcements.
The like, remember where the mask comes from, the ceiling.
God.
Like he did the whole thing.
Yeah.
And the whole time I'm like, this flight's gonna crash, isn't it? Because it was one of those like, of course I'm on the flight that Richard Simmons dies on.
Yeah, because then
but it didn't.
You don't
it
get
did
to
not.
be the lead story.
No, I mean back then I wouldn't have been, but like now I wouldn't have been. But yeah, who is playing him? Pauly Shore?
Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny. We were talking about this yesterday because Richard Simmons has been a recluse for like 10 years. Like he hasn't come out of his house.
Yeah.
What it took for him to release a statement, unfortunately, was Pauly Shore playing him in a movie. Because today Richard Simmons is like, I don't like this. I'm not in favor of this.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he didn't sign off on it.
No.
Oh my God, because those guys are like cut from the same cloth.
I think he was worried that Pauly was going to make him look effeminate.
Oh,
They look identical.
Whoa! You guys hear that?
Mary.
Scared the hell out of me.
The bejesus.
Just like
Hi.
she, I was like, Alan says
You-
effeminate, and you just appear. Hi, hey, what's up, dude? How are you?
Hey, hi, how are you?
Sean didn't know you were in New York.
I didn't know
We
until
were texting 1 hour
earlier.
ago.
Yeah, I mean
so
that's
I
why.
don't know.
Yeah, living from Midtown Manhattan,
I
Mary.
literally told him,
Yeah.
I'm broadcasting. I will see you in an hour. But
Yeah.
I can't see you, but
But I didn't realize you were already there. There. You know what I mean?
I'm there, babe.
You're there. From Midtown, it's Midtown Mary Santora. You just got beefcake.
Yes.
I don't know why beefcake is my.
Beefcake.
No, that
Double
is.
beefcake,
yeah.
you know.
She is known for her beefcakes.
That does sound like a thing you do. I don't even know.
beefcake?
Beefcake someone. I'm not even sure what that even means, but if you're a fan
That's
of
what
Mary's.
she calls when she slams a heckler. Oh, you just got beefcaked.
Beefcaked.
By Mary Santora.
Yup. Get a load of these Mariolas.
What-
All in your face.
Oh, that's fun. Wait, how do you like it so far, Mary?
I love it.
Yeah?
I love it so much. I was hanging out at the cellar last night, and there was just like, I mean, doing the road, you get to see your friends, once every 2 years if you happen to be in the same city or a festival together.
Yeah.
So it just was like, everybody I love is here. I get to see so many funny people every night. I don't have to wait for them to either come through hilarities or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hung out until like 2 a.m. last night, just like catching up with people. And I'm sure the novelty will wear off, like, because I'm still seeing everybody for the first time. But yeah, I love it, man. I absolutely love it.
Once you get something that they don't get, that's when it's going to wear off.
Yeah. or
they're all giving you the skunk eye.
Yeah, they're like, we don't like Mary anymore.
Or I mean, there's a lot of the accidental 5 a.m.s. That's a big that'll dampen your week.
Staying up all night.
I don't think though anymore. I don't drink.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
So like even staying out till 2 last night was like, all right, I got to get out of here. I'm so tired.
Man, wait, how long have you not drank again? 6 years?
5 years.
5 years?
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks, man.
I wish I could say that.
That's all right.
This is a very painful memory for him.
No, I'm just having withdrawals right now. That's all.
Just a little shaky.
Tears of joy for you, tears of terror for him.
That will be a thing that happens in New York a lot as a comedian. You'll be like, I've got a couple sets. My last one's at 10:15, and you'll get off stage, and then it's like, oh, David Attell's about to go on. Of course, I'm going to stay and just watch that.
Yeah.
And then you watch that, and you bump into someone else, and you're like, yeah, I'll go have one. I'll go have 2 tops. And then cut to
5:30 in the morning.
The bar's like, hey, we're going to lock you guys in, but we can only do liquor. And you're like, oh, sure.
You know? Twist my arm.
Yeah.
Hold that thought. I got to give away this money here very quickly. It's
$1,000.
It'll happen here from the Buzzard Bookie. So listen closely. Good luck.
This is your chance to bet with the Buzzard Bookie and win $1,000 now. Enter this nationwide keyword at WMMS.com. Pay. That's pay. Enter it now at WMMS.com.
Sean Patton is doing only 2 shows here in Cleveland, and then he's gone for the foreseeable future. He's doing 7 o'clock tonight with young Bill Squire. And 7 o'clock tomorrow night. You can go to hilarities.com. This is the Material Tour. Yes. The latest hour is on Peacock, by the way. I was clicking around, and I saw #1 on Peacock.
Yeah.
That's pretty exciting.
It was a very exciting thing. All thank you to Michael Che.
Is he the guy that put it together?
Yeah, he just, he
loves helping out white people.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody knows that about him.
He's got clout at Universal, so they were like.
Well, he just long ago, he said, it's actually one night after, drinking at the cellar, he said, I'll produce your special. And he said it, and I took it as like a friendly, like, thanks, man. But then, when I actually shot it
through,
yeah, he was like, hey, I seriously want to do that. And I was like, okay. And he took it to Peacock, and they were like, okay, yeah, let's do it. The thing is, they actually watched it because of him.
Yeah.
And that's what matters.
But you kind of need an advocate.
And you need a guy like him. And he's just, you meet a lot of people in this business, or any business, really. This is not exclusive to comedy or even art, that want to help you and say they want to help you and say they will help you. But then when the pants come down, I don't know. That's not the same. I don't know why. That's why.
It's another one of those 5 a.m. parties.
I think we're coining another phrase here.
When the pants come down, there's no
gender.
There's no sunshine.
Yeah, but
smooth.
People they can't always do what they say they want to do. But Michael was a guy who he not only did what he said, he then the week leading up, he's like, hey, let's do the Tonight Show. That was all his idea.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's when me and him went on the Tonight Show, and that was all Michael. So he's an awesome guy, and just
And I think there's a lot of people that have good intentions. They just don't have the pull that they thought. I mean,
and he did, and he used it wisely.
And that's awesome. So.
And he does that. He does that for anyone he cares. He likes. So he's like one of the best guys I've met in this business.
What was it about you think that just him seeing you doing spots and liking what you were doing, or hearing about you and checking you out?
I mean, I remember when he first kind of popped, when he first started showing up and doing spots. I remember like young Michael.
Yeah.
And I was still, around, and
young Sean was a babyface young man too.
And we were just kind of in the scene coming up at the same time. So and then I started going on the road a ton, and then lived in LA for a bit, and then on the road, and then back in New York, and he was just rising in the, SNL. And then you remember he went to the Daily Show for a while.
Yeah.
And then he went back to SNL, and that was right when I moved back to New York because I wanted to be in it, back in it, because it's the Mecca. It's. I mean, I also love cold weather. I don't know what it is about me. Am I a masochist? I don't know, but I like crappy, cold, gray weather.
Well, your timing to come here was
it's
impeccable.
Awesome. That's why I chose this. I was like, January? Cleveland in January? To some, that's the Bahamas in May.
Yeah.
But I wanted to be here for this. Yeah. And after the Browns get executed.
When the pants come down.
The week after the Browns get disqualified. Why can't I remember the word they use?
Eliminated?
Thank you.
Executed.
Executed and then disqualified.
And you're going to be in Atlanta for like
Oh, yeah,
couple
you're
months,
moving
right?
for a bit?
At the end of this month, I moved to Atlanta for 10 weeks. I'm
You're the new host of Lego Masters.
That's 100%. Exactly. We're going to call it Ego Masters. So we're going to see what you can build out of Egos. And then
I think you're about to have a Michael Che moment with Bill Squire.
I know, buddy.
I think if there's a show that I'm qualified to be on.
If I needed a co-host or like a field,
dude, I'll just be do the blocking for you. I'll be your stand-in.
Like, let's see what old Bill's up to out there. Ego Master Bill Squire.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm going to be in Atlanta.
I put jelly and syrup on them.
In that order?
Why not?
I'm
a master, aren't I?
He's just got a pocket full of butter. He puts it on last.
Yeah.
Pocket full of butter, Squire. That way, I like my radio voice. Pocket full of butter, Bill Squire. It's
pretty good.
Here on the Alan Cox event.
The event, the execution, the event.
I know.
You're moving to Atlanta to do a new program.
Exactly. No,
Yeah.
I'm doing 10 weeks. I'm going to be filming a show for FX. It's called The English Teacher. Stars created and starring a gentleman named Brian Jordan Alvarez, who's he's been in movies, hilarious. He's got big on the internet. And I'm in it, and it's awesome. It's going to be it's the pilot.
Are you
was
the English teacher?
No, he's the English teacher.
He's the English teacher. Okay.
But like it's an excellent, like the pilot was like, I was beside myself when I finally got it and then read it and was like, oh man, this is a great show. And we shot it we shot the pilot last February, and then the strikes.
They came to you, or you went out for it?
No, they came. I mean, they came to me. It was a case of like,
congratulations.
That's
man.
awesome.
Thanks.
That's awesome,
That's
man.
so exciting.
Well, but it was a case of a casting director I had auditioned for probably over a dozen plus times in New York, who just knew me, and I was, everything. Her name's Gail. I can't remember. I just remember everything I read for her, I knew I wasn't right for, but she always like, we'd read the scenes together and we really put work in, and I could tell she always was like, oh, okay,
Looking for
I
the
like
right
what
thing.
you do. This isn't the right part. And then apparently, this came down the pipe, and she was like, I know someone. He's a nobody, but trust me on this. He's a comedian.
We're not casting you as Richard Pryor. I'm sorry for the umpteenth time.
He's your favorite comedian, even if you don't know it yet.
There you go.
And then I did the audition, and it was awesome. It was just a crazy experience.
That's great.
I did the audition, and then I had to do the callback via Zoom the morning after opening for Bill Burr in New Orleans at the Smoothie King Center.
Yeah, right.
So you see just like the jam up of events right there?
Yeah.
Where it was
Were you
like,
still drunk?
no, that was the thing. Like I did, you go, I mean, doing an arenas, I've only done it once. I know it's funny because we've married Bill, we've got colleagues who do arenas enough to where they almost sound bored talking about them.
They're like, they'll be like, it's nice to be back in a club. And I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
nice.
man. Yeah, but it's 15,000 people, and you're like,
You're on the Jumbotron.
Yeah, it was an insane experience, and of course afterward, just celebrating. Bill just jumped back on his tour bus and skedaddled to the next town, which makes sense. But like, I was in New Orleans, I was home, so I hung out. But at a certain point, I was like, guys, I got to cap this. I got an audition. I got a thing I got to get up and do on Zoom, and luckily, it was the right call.
So
but
then you had to wait out the strike after you got the gig.
after we filmed it, and then both strikes.
Yeah.
And it was, I'm glad, and they persevered, so that was awesome.
But you also know it's coming, too, so that kind of has to be like, hurry up and wait.
Yeah, well, also...
Which everybody was doing, I guess.
Yeah, it was hurry up and wait, and then once it got officially picked up, more hurry up and wait. But, it's happening, and I'm like, it's happening, and I'm grateful, it's awesome, and I hope I don't screw it up. Because...
That's awesome.
I mean, I don't think I will. I love acting, and it's like I said, it's FX. They don't tend to mess with. They don't...
Can you kind of talk about what your role is? Do you know, like, your character at all? I know
I
they're
can't-
tight with details.
I can't really get. No, I can't. That part I can't because we're keeping that under wraps. But I'm like, I'm not reocurring. I'm like primary cast.
Yeah. Cool.
So it's.
That's
I know
so
that
awesome,
much.
man.
Yeah. Thank you. So to answer your text, Mary, no, I can't do lunch, coffee, drinks, or
anything.
Or
Danish.
post-show hang, or
You're the worst.
Yankees game, or the Mets game,
worst.
or a Nets game, or I can't do any of the things. I've got a list you texted me of New York thing. We can't
All
go eat
items.
a slice.
We can't get a slice. We,
We
can't
can't
go to the Statue of Liberty.
We can't have bagels on the top of the Chrysler building.
Hey, let's
Gotta
go
go
get
down. down
Yeah.
in the
You're gonna miss
9/11
the weekly
museum.
comedian's trip to the Statue of Liberty.
Oh, wait.
That's a
Dude, I got it. I want you guys to know this blew my mind in half. So when I was on the road with Dave Cross, the tour manager was from Cleveland, right?
Yeah.
And he picks us, David and I, up breakfast one morning in New York because he's picking us up. We're driving to do shows in the state, and he gets me. I don't know if he did it on purpose. He gets me I asked for an everything bagel with cream cheese. That's all I asked for. He got me an everything bagel with strawberry cream cheese. Cream cheese.
Huh.
Exactly. That was my initial reaction.
Interesting.
But I was so
Interesting
hungry.
choice.
Exactly. I was so hungry. Like, whatever. And now I'm flat out addicted.
Because it was
So
so
good.
awesome.
You had never had it before?
I had never had a
Oh, it's
everything
so
bagel with strawberry cream cheese.
Yeah.
Like, changed me. Like, I had 3 in one day months later.
You're so good.
I've had days like that.
Yeah, just 3 bagel days. It's
It's 3 bagel day.
It's a 3 bagel day. You know what I mean? But so there you go, Mary.
This is why we can't hang out. Like too
yeah,
much. Like
dude. Yeah.
just forget drinking all night. We would just eat each other to death.
Yeah.
In like a week.
We would like Voltron up into one dude. Just
So many
They'd
bagels.
be like, we're out of bagels. Leave us alone.
just one pudgy.
We know you're
bearded
open.
guy
We know
in
you open at
flannel.
6.
I can smell you just punched in. But
Give us our bread.
oh God, bagels are good. But anyway, yes, Mary. So, but if you can
You're too
hang on
busy
till
for
May,
me.
till
Okay,
May,
no problem.
I'll
It's fine.
hang out. No, never too busy for you. I'll fly up. What do you want to do? I am doing the Patrice O'Neill benefit on March 26th. At
Oh,
the,
that's
I'll be
awesome.
yeah, that'll be so we can hang then.
Okay.
That's I'm crazy honored to have been asked.
Yeah, that's
to do
pretty
that.
cool.
Wild.
Thing to
Yeah.
be on.
Well, thanks for coming in, man.
No, Alan, thank you
Mhm.
because now I have my perpetual. My
I'll
new
text
phrase.
it to you. Yeah.
Mine, your favorite
One of
comedian.
your favorite comics, even if you don't realize
even
it
if
yet.
you don't know.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You still doing raw beef? People listen to that?
No, I stopped doing that because I was on the road too much.
Yeah.
And it was a fun podcast.
But there
there's-
are episodes.
There's still episodes available called Raw Beef, but I'm trying to figure out the next things as far as that's concerned too, because this world is so vast now
Mm-hmm.
of like podcasting and radio.
Oh,
and
yeah.
it's wild.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody the other night, and they were like, how's the business changed? I said, well, now I'm competing with the audience.
Dude, exactly. Have you ever met? I meet people on the road sometimes who are like, I have a podcast, and I'm like, I've been talking to you for 2 hours. I don't know how you could possibly have people listen. I'm not trying to be an ass. I'm just saying,
right.
like, sometimes
Yeah.
you're like, people just start podcasts. You're like, for what though?
Over COVID, I understood it
Yeah.
because people were like, but
Yeah.
whatever. Hey,
Yeah,
listen,
that's
there's
something
room
people-
for everybody.
There's room
Sometimes there's
for
people
everyone.
like, oh, you have a podcast? That's neat. And they're like, yeah, we got 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. It's about
What?
tea and just how the history of tea.
Very niche.
And but we're building to something, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
Well, sometimes we all grew up listening to music.
Mm.
Like, so I had someone. I was driving from Dallas to Houston, and one of the younger comics was like, "What podcast do you listen to?" I'm like, "Oh, I'm not really huge on podcasts, to be honest." And she goes, "Oh, so you're just gonna listen to what, music the whole way, like a psycho?" I'm like, "Is that psycho to listen to music now for extended periods of time?" 'Cause
Well, especially
it's
since
so-
we all talk for a living.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't necessarily
Yeah.
want to hear other people talking while I'm.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's
Thank
just
you.
me, though. Some people, they work at McDonald's. They go home, fire up the grill, and start making food for everybody. I'm not that guy. So.
No,
I definitely had, like, I listened to, when I was on the road, I listened to a lot of talk
Sure.
radio and stuff like that. And then when we had a longer commute, I would listen to podcasts. But now my commute's about 8 minutes.
Yeah.
And so, like, just getting into it. So,
Well, and you jog here.
songs,
I know
yeah,
you jog here in the mornings, right? Or even though the show's not.
it's a dead sprint.
He gets his steps in.
That's how I justify all those bagels.
Exactly.
Work them off. Sean Patton and young Bill Squire doing 2 shows. 1 show tonight, 1 show tomorrow night, both at 7 o'clock. You go to pickwickandfrolic.com, find everything going on with Sean, SeanPatton.com.
Yes.
On there. And good to see you. Thanks for coming in.
Thank
man.
you for having me, Alan.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take a break. I'll
Bye,
be back. I want
Mary.
to text for
Bye.
anything